about a concept or idea that's very alien to American politicians or US politicians. And this concept or idea is called peace. And the only politician that I know of that he's alive, and there have been some in the past that really talks about peace and the relationship that peace has with prosperity is Mr. Ron Paul. And I often listen to his, I guess he has some news or commentary clips. Anyhow, I want to talk about why this concept of seeking peace, ending conflicts, or not wanting to start any kind of conflagration or conflict with anybody, is so valuable, so important, and also is like a hidden factor that many voters they look at this when they are voting, but the stupid politicians they often they just ignore it and go on doing the same crap that got them into trouble in the first one. For example, I want to tell you some examples in modern times that you probably will remember. When Obama was running for his first term, and Obama was saying that he's a candidate for change. He wants to make peace in the world, and in fact, he received the Nobel Peace Prize, and that kind of was like a tipping point for his candidacy, and voters voted for him, even though he was a real unknown senator, the only black senator. Every aspect of his candidacy and his philosophy was very passe. I heard his crap from many black politicians. If you were to judge and say, hey, is this candidate in real terms better than anybody else, you wouldn't really think of Obama as a better candidate. But because he took this political position saying that he wants peace and it's a heartfelt interest, then they elected him, and then he went on to the second term, and they had a choice between Hillary Clinton and Obama, and Hillary Clinton engaged in warfare, became friends of Syria with a bunch of other despots, and started ISIS, and so again when the candidates came back, again when the voters came back and had a choice, they said let's just go with Obama again. And this is in American politics. I'm going to tell you some examples in other countries too, but then in the fight between Hillary Clinton and Trump, Trump came out and said that, hey, do I really want to go to a nuclear war with Russia over Syria? Give me a break. This is a no-brainer. I'm not going to go into more conflicts. The fact that the voters knew that, hey, there is a candidate here, he does not want to pursue foreign wars, that changed things. That's a hidden factor, okay? So they voted for him because the average Joe, the voters, they know all of our resources of money are getting squandered in all these stupid wars. Okay, I want to tell you about the Iranian politics. A lot of people, they're not familiar with this. Well, I was talking to my mother, And when Mr. Rouhani, the now president Hassan Rouhani, was running with 8 other candidates, okay, and all of them, the 7 candidates were favored over him by the establishment, by the judiciary, by Ayatollah Khamenei, the ultimate arbiter of major conflicts in Iranian politics. Okay, that's 8 candidates. I told my mom, I don't know who's gonna become president. Who are you supporting? Who are you gonna vote for? And she told me I'm gonna vote for Mr. Rouhani because Mr. Rouhani he's gonna make good relations with foreigners. He does not like warfare. Okay. And out of all these people that were just as good a candidate, he came into power. Right. Then, whenever there is a criticism of Iranian politicians, Ahmadinejad names comes out because Ahmadinejad was very upfront with the Americans. No bullshit kind of president, and the media here was also kind of bashing him too. So the Iranians, they kind of were shying away. Even though he got the second term, most Iranians, they don't want war. They don't want foreign conflicts at all. And so he got a bad rap. But he finished his presidency peacefully and everything. But he could have been a whole lot more. Then, let's talk about Turkey. Turkey, Erdogan is endlessly being criticized, and there was actually a coup trying to get rid of him because the Turks are very leery. One of the arguments is that Turkey had a very nice relations with foreigners, no wars, no military ventures. They weren't. Well, I saw that the ISIS killed like 100 Kurdish that were demonstrating in Turkey. Then there were massive demonstrations against Erdogan, saying we want adalat, we want peace, we want adalat. Okay. So this sentiment is strong in many places. The United States is not the only place. Then I was talking about somebody about Ukraine and the Russian politics, and they were saying that actually Putin is extremely popular in Russia. He wins the elections hands down, and then she said that actually. This was in the height of the conflict with the United States over Syria. She said that Putin does not like war, does not, engage in it, does not want things to end up in war. He will try diplomatic routes, and in fact he has in Ukraine and in different places. And he diverted the West towards the conflict in North Korea. Away from Syria and Ukraine. So the politician, okay, if you want to get the moral of this story, the politician that will get the upper hand, that will turn the tide, or will be the guy who really does not want warfare, does not engage in it, does not care for it. Is more interested in domestic, affairs and taking care of stuff that's really a problem here. I'm sure there's other examples in other countries, but that's I could go into some examples with Saudi Arabia, even though their government is very screwed up. We can talk about Afghanistan. The government, that finally got the upper hand, where the more like a daddy or they were a coalition of these guys that were fighting Taliban, and they don't really like strict religious rules. They have much better relations with India, Iran, with Russia. They got the upper hand. Now I know the Iranian government is helping some of the Taliban, and so that they, because Pashtun is a big portion of the population of Afghanistan. There is no way that these guys will totally stay out of political arena in Afghanistan, one form or another. They'll either get into the parliament, or they might even become president. But just the wrangling over who will or how will do this. But they are part of the population. There is no peace without them, and so the government in Afghanistan and the Iranians, whoever, is appeasing them and talking to them and trying to make peace. Okay, so this concept of making peace and wanting to settle conflicts and moving on with your life, with the economy, is very important. Okay, I know many stupid politicians, especially in the United States, they just don't get this. And okay, now let's look at the other side of this coin. Is that wars, they cost a tremendous amount of money, and they deplete the resources of any nation that engages in it. Okay. Then, on the other hand, the technology, military technology, is progressing like rapidly. In fact, many countries are capable with a few dollars to get weapons that can repel most major invasions. For example, I'm just going to tell you a few examples of this. For example, say you are an African nation. You have like some very limited resources. You have some oil and some diamond mines, and a few of this and a few of that. Okay, and most of your population is like the Buddhist and Christian and Muslim. You are not a cohesive group, but you have some military, right? You are no match for say United States or other countries like Britain. You are no match for them. But if you spend your few dollars that you have wisely, invested in a really good anti-aircraft, air force that can repel initial attacks, then you have a chance. Then you also have to spend money on a large ground-based force that has a presence in your country more than anything or anybody else. So you are able to repel foreign attacks from air, and if they're foolish enough to come in on the ground, then you have the huge underground military too. So this is a way for third world countries to get rid of all this stuff that's going on, as sponsored by United States, Israel, and Saudi Arabia. Okay, so that's one way of looking at it. The other way is that, say for example, United States goes and conquers another country, like it makes a huge presence in Syria. Well, in the past, when people fight wars, the invading country or the victorious country benefited tremendously from the resources of the people that had lost it all. okay, from their oil, from their copper, from their human resources. But in our world, in the 21st century, engaging in warfare is so expensive, and then these resources might be human resource or copper or gold or in relationship to the money that was wasted, they're nothing. And the commodities, they are collapsing in price because technologically everything is becoming easier to extract or to transport or to manipulate. Then on top of all of that, there's advances in material science that can make just about anything that a human being need out of carbon, out of coal, like graphene, the fantastic batteries, or like solar panels. Everything can be made really cheaply. So I mean, the economic reasons for invading or being in warfare are not very good. On the other side, whoever makes peace, it benefits immensely because other countries are becoming like for example, after the Iran-Iraq war, or even during it, Iran befriended Russia, befriended China, many smaller countries, and their manufacturing, Russia's military advances in rocketry, in electronic warfare, in anti-aircraft systems, in radars that can see through anything, radars that can see stealth planes. They became ours because Russia was friendly to us. Same goes with China. It's like the Chinese manufacturing is the Iranian manufacturing. It's like North Korean nukes are really our nukes. So when the country does not aggravate other countries, does not ruin them, like United States is doing, they become wealthy through relationships, through trade, through military cooperations. You know, I think that I think Iran is going to become immensely wealthy. It goes with some other countries like India, because nobody really wants to fight India, and India doesn't engage in warfare. So I don't know how the future of United States is going to be, but looking at their politicians and the stuff they are saying and doing, I would say this is a bleak future because, say for example, there is a widget somebody made, and you really need this widget or this kind of drugs for some diseases, and there are like two suppliers. One is like in Timbuktu. He charges like a few dollars for it, and then the other one is in the United States, and they have spent the money on the research. The pills cost like $50 a pill, and there is a chance that one of their politicians, Trump, will come. I said, oh my God, look at these Hassan and his kind of people like him. Aren't they a piece of shit? Let's sanction them and cut off all the sales of anything to them. Well, who the hell do you think I'm going to be buying those drugs from? Because first of all, I know this supplier is cheaper, and they don't have this huge history of violence and warfare with me, and then I also know that in the future these people are more serene and easygoing. I might be able to continue buying these drugs from them. You follow what I'm saying? Anyhow, I think that one of the reasons I'm on my personal life I'm so successful in everything I do is because I put my effort into my own life, into my own affairs, what I want to do. I don't engage, in conflicts with other people. Kind of shy away. I'm more like other Iranians. They are very shy with warfare or with any kind of personal conflict. And I think a lot of people, they take that as like he's like a pushover. But I think many Americans, not Americans, I mean many Europeans are have the same kind of demeanor. Like they have seen wars, and they know it will not go very nice places, and the first thing they'll try would be, peaceful or through money to resolve whatever conflict there may be. For example, Merkel had trouble with the Germans, and they hated all this immigration into their country, so he went and offered money and support for Turkey, or even money on a personal level to people who would be refugees, to stop them from invading all of Germany. This is pretty nice, and they are a lot more successful, and they're a lot more loved in the world than the United States will ever be. Thank you for being in my YouTube channel. A lot of my stuff is research. Please subscribe. Thank you.